questions and answers. You guys have any questions? Govinda? Krishna? No. No study this week? Okay. Sannyasi Baba? No question. Nikunja? No. Yeah, okay. Vishwadeepa.
Then Prembhakti Syndicate is Sadhu Sangha Krishna Seva, Napujiva Devi Deva. Yai Bhakti Paramata. Means in the second line, Napujiva Devi Deva. I don't want to worship the Devis and Devas. Why it is emphasized? What is the like? What is the difference between worship and respect?
What is the question exactly?
Why it is emphasized?
Where is this verse you quoted? From Mahabharata or where is it?
Prembhakti Chandrika.
Okay.
Sadhu Sangha Krishna Seva, Napujiva Devi Deva.
Yeah, okay.
Yai Bhakti Paramata.
So what's the question? The question is about what the verse is trying to convey or trying to teach.
Yes.
So what's the
Napujiva
question?
Deva, why it is emphasized and what it means.
What he's trying, because that's the beginning of Prema Bhakti Chandrika.
Yes.
Because Prema Bhakti Chandrika, the first 48 verses are about Vaidhi sadhana. And after verse 48 to 106, it's all about Raganuga sadhana. So to get to Raganuga sadhana, you have to be very much attached, we should be attached to Krishna, have agreed to attain Radha Krishna Vrindavan. So he's pointing out, because people, especially in India, because 500 years ago, when Narottam, or 300 years ago, Narottam Das was writing, he wasn't writing for an audience of Russian devotees, or Swedish devotees, or American devotees. He was an Indian writing for Indian devotees. So Indian devotees are always worshipping Devis and Devas. So he's trying to create, because the whole purpose of Prema Bhakti Chandrika is simply to elaborate and to repeat the teaching, the summary of the teaching of the six Goswamis. So the six Goswamis are teaching on Nyabhilasha, Nishunya, Jnana Karma and Nirvita. So worshiping Devi is all Karma Kanda. It's all Karma Kanda, Varnashram Dharma Karma Kanda. So the point is being made there by Narottam, you don't need to do Varnashram Dharma, you don't need to do Karma Kanda, you just need to associate with sadhus and worship Krishna. That's all I have to do. So that's the whole idea. When you study Shastra and you see a verse, you have to meditate. What is the intention of the author? What is he trying to tell me? What is the context? What's the context of the whole book? This whole book is called Prema Bhakti Chandrika. It means the moonbeam to show the path of prema. So it's not prema. To show the path of prema, we have to show it's not prema. We have yama and niyama. Niyama is what to do, and yama is not what not to do. Right? 30 seva aparats and archan puja, das Vaishnava aparats. These are don'ts. This is yama. Don't do these things. So Narottam has explained, don't worship demigods, no need. You just worship Krishna and Vaishnavas and sadhus, and you attain everything. That's the idea. What's the verse again?
Sadhu Sangha Krishna Seva, Napujiva Devi Deva. Yai Bhakti Paramakara.
Yes, Sadhu Sangha
Krishna Seva.
Krishna Seva.
Napujiva Devi Deva. Napujiva Devi Deva.
Napujiva.
Devi Deva.
Yeah, this is life. This is life. Life is sadhu sangha and serving Krishna. You don't have to do any Devi puja or anything. So,
how to not disrespect? Means demigods are also devotees.
what?
How to not disrespect the Devis and because they are also bhaktas sometimes.
What are you saying?
Means what is difference between worship and respecting? Like,
Worship means Panchupachar, Dasupachar, Sodasha. There's 5 articles of worship, 10 articles of worship. The puja is described, Archan. It means Devi puja means you respect, you go to a Devi temple, you pay obeisance, buy a mala. But you don't go and chant, Durga Sahasranam, the whole Archan puja and hire Brahmins do Yagya puja. You don't do any of that stuff. But you show respect. Puja is one thing, respect is another thing. Like Lord Chaitanya, he's Radha Krishna, he's Krishna Radha's Bhav. He visited all the Shiva temples, all the Durga temples, all throughout India. He went and paid obeisance, took darshan, did parikramah, and chanted Hari Bol or Radha Radha, Krishna Krishna Krishna. He showed respect, so we should follow his example. We go somewhere as a temple. You go to some town. I went to Bombay. So I said, "What's the famous temple here in Bombay?" He said, "Siddhi Vinayak, Ganapati." I said, "Let's go. Take me. We'll go. Let's go on Tuesday." Okay, we'll go on Tuesday. So I went there. We did puja. Because my friends who were my disciples, they're from Bombay. They want to do puja. They say one. I said, "Okay, fun." So first we did rat puja. First we did Chua puja. There's a big silver rat in front of the. It's a Viman. It's a carrier. Ganapati rides on a rat. So we did puja and first put a mala, did arti, ordered some cheese or sweets or something. That's the system there. Lord Chaitanya visited Shiva temple, Lingaraj, Narissa, and the Pujari gave him some Mahaprasad. And he left there and he was eating Mahaprasad. And the devotees said, "Mahaprabhu, Vaishnavas aren't supposed to eat Shiva Prasad. How are you doing that? It says in Shastra, Vaishnavas don't eat Shiva Prasad." He said, "That's because generally Shiva Pujaris have the idea that Shiva is God. That Shiva is Param Tattva. He's Bhagavan. And they don't have so much regard for Krishna. But I know this Pujari, he's a Purivasi. He's working here in the Lingaraj temple in Bhuvaneshwar. But he's a Bhakta of Krishna. I know that. So when he's offering puja to Shiva, he understands that Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yatad Shambhu. He's the greatest devotee of Vishnu. So he has that consciousness, and that Bhav, he has understanding what is the actual ontological position of Shiva versus Vishnu or Krishna. So I took the prasad. Because your consciousness is what makes the food in the prasadam. So his consciousness was Krishna conscious, so that offering to Shiva became Krishna prasad, not Shiva prasad. Just like Prahlad Maharaj in 7th canto. Hiranyakasipu offered him a smoothie or something. Ordered Prahlad Maharaj a banana shake. It was some kind of orange juice or some drink. It was full of poison, full of strychnine. So Prahlad held to his forehead like the boys do when they buy 7-Up or something. And he says, Shiva. Then he drank it. So because of his consciousness, he had Shuddha Chit, he had pure consciousness, Prahlad turned that strychnine into Amrit. Vish became Amrit. Vish means poison. Vish became Amrit. So consciousness determines what it is. That's why they say when bhoga is made, when bhoga is prepared by devotees in the temple, the most advanced devotee in the temple should offer the bhoga to Thakurji. Because the most advanced devotee will offer the bhoga to Thakurji with pure consciousness. But if that devotee tells somebody else to offer it, then they're empowered. They become Ritvik. They're empowered. So now you offer it. So then it's okay. You're offering on behalf of your guru. It's like I read somewhere, I don't know in Shastra, But one Bhaktivinoda Thakur book, which we don't hold in high regard, but there's some nice points there. I don't have any backing for this from Shastra. He said there's Harinam Sankirtan. If there's not one pure devotee in the group, it won't be successful. Because one pure devotee in the Harinam Sankirtan party will absorb the offenses of all the other devotees. So that's why when I've been on some Harinams with some very advanced Vaishnavas, and when they're leading kirtan, everyone's in ecstasy. Because the advanced devotee, he takes everybody's aparats during Harinam, so you enter the spiritual world during Harinam. That's what happens. And we have that experience also anyway. Anyway, just like we had this great devotee in Pili Pukur in Priya Kunj Ashram, Sri Vinod Hari Baba. He leads kirtan. He's considered one of the Siddha saints of Braj Mandal in the contemporary time. There's many other ones also. Rajendra Das Maharaj and Pran Krishna Baba. There's many other ones that I don't know. But he's considered by many advanced Vaishnavas. So anyone who's been in his kirtan or even hears the kirtan and way far away from Vrindavan feels very ecstatic, feels very special, because his purity is there. Sadhu Sangha Krishna Seva, Devi Deva, Devi Devi Jaya Radhe. Ek Nishta, Ek Ishta. One Ishta Devata, and be Nishta na Ishta Devata. Show honor and respect to everyone, all different devas and devis. Because they all the devas and devis have spiritual counterparts in the spiritual world in Vaikuntha. There's Ganapatis in Vaikuntha, everyone's there, they're all there. Saraswati, they're all there. There's spiritual forms in the spiritual world. It's told in Sandarbhas by Jiva Goswami. There's Saraswati, the material god, Devi of learning and music and dance and arts. And there's the Divya Saraswati, the spiritual Saraswati. Vaikuntha is the wife of Vishnu. Saraswati in this world is this is their private bed. That's part of the mat in the back there. Anyway. Entertainment. I guess you're going to go to sleep. I guess that's the idea here. Okay, what other question? Yeah, no, sure, right. If we go camping, you have a little blue mat, you roll up and put it in your backpack, and she bought a camping mat. She's camping out here. Questions? Yeah.
In Bhagavatam, when Vidura was discarded from the kingdom of Hastinapur by Duryodhana, at that time he has the opportunity to visit Dwarka and take the association of Krishna and Dwarkavasis. But still he opted for visiting holy dhams, holy rivers in India to take darshan of deities and all. So what is the teaching that we have to take from that, and what is his internal consciousness which guided him to go in that manner? Teaching for us. And
the question is about first canto of Bhagavatam. Vidura wanted to give some spiritual teachings to Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra regarding the upcoming or potential war of Kurukshetra. He wanted to try to prevent that because he's a saintly person. So he wasn't appreciated by Dhritarashtra especially. He was basically thrown out of the assembly. So after that, after leaving that, he didn't take darshan of the Twarkavasis who were in Hastinapur at the time. Krishna was visiting at the time. And he just immediately left on Tirtha Yatra. So the question is, why did Vidura, he didn't go to take Krishna's darshan and all the queens that were visiting with him and his whole entourage that came from Dwarka, spent 4 or 5 months in Hastinapur, Indraprastha to be exact. Indraprastha is a place of Yudhishthira.
Or otherwise he can go to Dwarka also for associating with Krishna later on. But he opted for...
So he went on Tirtha Yatra. So why did he go on Tirtha Yatra? What was his internal idea? So the answer is the Shastra, the Puranas give specific instructions. When some offense is made, you should go far away from that place. So another thing is, he got to see Srikala, Vidura's Srikala again. You can understand the future, that the two cousin brothers, Kauravas and Pandavas, are going to go to war. Kurukshetra, they're going to go to war in Kurukshetra. He didn't want to stay around and see that. He wanted to take part of that. So he left and he went on Tirtha Yatra to observe the rule of going far away from a place where offenders live. But he would see that if someone's speaking the truth, and usually a gentleman will accept the truth and submit to the truth when it's given to him. But because Vidura was offended, so that's Vaishnava Bharata on the part of Dhritarashtra and his son Duryodhana. So he left that place. Because wherever you're personally offended, or a guru's offended, or Krishna's offended, you should go far away from that place and don't come back. So that's why he left. And his idea was he wanted to follow the Shastra. And he didn't want to be put in a position where he had to take sides. Because if he stayed around and the war started, because the war started not very long after all that, a few months after. So he stayed living in Indraprastha, Hastinapur, he would have been dragged into the war also. So he didn't want to get involved with that. Sami people like to avoid conflict. Nowadays people are expert at conflict resolution. People that have psychology degrees or conflict resolution. How to resolve conflicts. If you want to do that, get married. Within 5 years, become an expert in conflict resolution. Solving conflicts. Otherwise, you can't stay married. When we grew up, we had an expression that we used to say, to err is human. Human beings make mistakes. It's one of the defects of human beings, make mistakes. So I think the more popular expression called you, to fight is natural. To err is human, to fight is natural. That's our savab is fighting, because kali means kalaha, kalaha means argue. So Kali Yuga is the age of kalaha, which means fighting, arguing. There's something called prem kalaha. Prem kalaha means love fight, love argument. Kali Yuga. To fight is natural. Like when you meet husbands and wives, you don't say, how are you? You say, when's the last time you fought your husband? Oh, Friday night. Okay, good. You won or lose? I won. Okay, good. Good sister. Okay, well, no question. Any next question? Hey, Vishnu, check the next question.
Maharaj, please, can you explain what is Bhavalasarati and what is the difference between Bhavalasarati and Vipralamba Bhava?
Bhavalasrati and Vipralambha are totally different conceptions. Bhavalasrati is a permanent mood of love, and Vipralambha is a time of separation. When Radha and Krishna are separated, it's called Vipralambha. Lamba means to attain, and V means without attaining. Lamba means attaining, to attain, to meet, to join. Lamba, and V means without. So Vipralambha means separation. It's a state. Vipralambha is a state of existence. A state of Radha and Krishna are separated, either by emotions or by distance. Usually it's by emotional separation. It's called Purvarag. They haven't met intimately, they haven't really met yet, but they've infatuated and fallen in love. It's called Rag and love before meeting, personally meeting. That's called Purvarag. And there's Prema Chitta, you're sitting on Krishna's lap and you're feeling your consciousness. It's Vaichitta, means your consciousness, you lost your consciousness. You lost your awareness of the presence of Krishna. So you're sitting on Krishna's lap, but you feel that Krishna's run away. That's the type of separation. Then one is called Man. Man, you get separated by anger. You get angry and jealous and angry with Krishna. You're separated by your own will. You refuse to see him, refuse to talk to him, refuse to meet him. That's called Man. That's one type of Vipralambha. And the fourth is called Pravasarag. When Krishna goes to Mathura or Dwarka, far away from Raj, or he goes far away from Kalvari. He goes to Kamyavan, which is a long way away from Barsana. So Radha and I feel separation. Well, these are states of existence and of mind and heart during the exchange of love between Radha and Krishna. And Bhavalasrati is a permanent mood of the heart of Manjaris. Bhavalas, Ulas means to rise, to rise up. Ulas means to rise up. Ulas means to rise up. It's a reflection. Radharani's heart is experiencing different happiness and ecstasies in association with Krishna, and that same feelings are rising in the heart of the Manjaris. So one is a feeling, Bhavalasrati is an emotion, a sentiment, a love, and Vipralambha is a state of existence of consciousness. So they're different, they're quite different. It's called Bhavalasrati. Vipralambha is not a rati. It's a state of a type of lila. Vipralambha lila, Sambhog lila. I didn't record. That was Bhavalasrati and Vipralambha. I forgot it's around. Question, another question?
A duty of devotee to always wear tilak, or there are only specific situations in which tilak we are obliged to wear tilak?
Is it the duty of devotee to put tilak always, or in some specific situations we are obliged to put tilak?
Is it the duty of devotee to put on tilak, yes or no? It's niyam, it's a rule to wear Vaishnava tilak. The Shastra, Hari Bhakti says if you're not wearing tilak, you don't get any fruit of your bhajan. So while chanting japa, if you're just out shopping in the mall, that's not part of your bhajan. You don't have to wear tilak, or you have to go to work, you can't wear tilak. Or some unfavorable situation, you don't wear tilak. You know, you're in a bad place or dangerous place, you know, or at work or at home with unfavorable parents, you don't wear tilak. But in that case, I haven't read in Shastra. I asked my teacher about this. He said it's done. He said it shows a nice bhav, but it's not described in Shastra. It's called jal tilak. Jal tilak, you take achran in your hand, Just like you're making tilak, Om Narayana, Om Madhavaya, Om Govindaya, Om Shri. You mark your body with water tilak. Because it shows that you want to mark your body with tilak. Because tilak is one of the pancha samskars. Diksha, Diksha Vidi, the rules of Diksha, when the Guru gives Diksha, he gives tilak of the parivar to the disciple. So it's not, tilak is a connection with, direct connection with the Guru. It is given by Guru, and so it helps to remember my Guru put this tilak on my forehead, or my body, or whatever, and he gave me this tilak. Like when I got initiated, my Guru, he put tilak on my forehead. I actually told me to put it on. He just put a dot. And he gave me Radha Kunda tilak. He said, always wear this tilak. So that was the tilak samskara. So we should, basically, if you're in your house, you do puja or chant japa or study shastra, you should wear tilak. And if you don't have tilak, or later you wash your face, tilak goes on, that's okay, whatever. But especially when you go out in public, you should wear tilak. Because you're representing your parivar. So people should know your parivar. I was so happy, because it took me a while to figure out how to put on tilak, wait to parivar tilak. So one day I was sitting at the Radha Kunda, some Babaji came up to me and said, "Are you a Babaji?" I said, "Yes, sort of." Okay, he couldn't believe he heard about me or something. So he said, "Are you a wait to parivar?" I said, "How do you know?" I said, "You're tilak." I said, "Oh, good." I learned how to put on tilak. So it's identification. So it helps you remember your Param Purush, your godfather. It's not a way to God, etc. Especially when you go out in public, you should wear tilak. Around the house, house to house.
But when you're living in the material world, as I am doing now, isn't it enough to wear the neck beads, to listen neck beads?
What did she say? I can't hear too.
In the present material world, dealings and all, whenever we go, is it just enough to wear neck beads? Is it compulsory to wear tilak also? So neck beads are enough or not?
Yeah, I mentioned that, but maybe my speech isn't very clear these days. The question is, when we're working in the material world outside Holy Dham and moving around the material world, is it enough just to have neck beads as an identification, or do we need tilak also? No, I mentioned that, but you didn't hear me. I'll mention again. It's not necessary to wear tilak. I say you can put on water tilak, which no one will see. But, when in Rome, do as the Romans, they say, so not needed. Even some people don't even wear neck beads. There are certain kinds of neck beads you can get also. You get long neck beads, someone can see around your neck because it goes around your back of your neck and hangs down. You can't see in the front,
Yes.
I remember once I was in Vrindavan Temple 15 years ago. At that time I was wearing loose neck beads, 3 strands, and I couldn't see anything in my shirt. So one Russian lady, very old lady, Russian lady, very cute old lady, about 80 years old, she had 10 rupees in her hand. She said, "Maharaj, you're a nice devotee, but maybe you look like a poor sannyasi, so maybe you don't have neck beads. So here's 10 rupees. You should buy some new neck beads." So I showed her my neck beads. So they're down here, I showed her. She already took the 10. She gave 10 rupees, and she left. I put it in the donation box. That's so cute. She said, "Maharaj, you must be you look like a poor sannyasi." Which is true, but. So no, you don't need any tilak. Question? That question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I am not able to chant 64 rounds daily. Please guide me how to do it on daily basis.
I'm not able to chant 64 rounds a day. How can I do it on a daily basis?
There is second question. Same person.
One at a time. One question, one answer. Bye.
Because he is saying I am living in Vrindavan Dham in my Guru's ashram. Please.
Oh, that should be very easy to do 64 rounds. Okay, so pray to your Guru for Nam Ruchi. Because anything you like, you can do forever. So liking means Ruchi, taste, you like it. Some people like music, they play music all the time. So some people like to read, they can read all the time. So if you have a taste, then you can chant 128 rounds. All depends on Ruchi. Ruchi is the motivating force. No taste, no Ruchi. Ruchi means ras, some taste. It's taste which makes us go forward. We like something, we do it. If it's your order, your Guru's order you to chant 64 rounds, you should pray to your Guru, go to your Guru, and say, I'm not able to be steady in 64 rounds. Please give me some blessings, or give me some tips. Basically, the non-Prabhu has to be happy with you. If the non-Prabhu is happy with you, he'll give you a taste for him. And then it'll be easier to sustain steadiness and chanting when you have a taste for the name. Otherwise, it's called Gana Tarla, thick and thin. The Madhurya Kadambini described. Sometimes you're on 64, sometimes you're off 64. That means your bhakti is thick and thin. It's a symptom of anishtita bhakti. Your bhakti has not come to this platform of nishta yet. Because the platform of nishta, there's a good deal of taste coming at that level. It's the taste you're experiencing bhakti bhajan that enables you to stay steady in your practices of bhakti bhajan. So if the taste is less, that means you're farther away from ruchi. If you're a nishta. But nishta is sustained by taste and bhakti. Not the stage of ruchi, but taste is coming. So pray to Vaishnavas for ruchi and nam. That's true.
Yes, I'm living in Sri Vrindavan in ashram of my Guru, but I fear that I will not be able to live in Dham for my entire life. Please help me overcome this fear in my heart. This fear is not allowing me to do proper smaran of Radhe Shyam.
I'm living in Vrindavan, but I'm afraid I can't live here for my whole life.
Please help me overcome this fear in my heart.
Where are you? Are you Indian or not Indian?
It's Virendra Singh.
What's his name?
Virendra Singh. Virendra.
He's Indian. So what's the fear? I don't have any FRO problem. No visa problem. Pray to Vrindavan. Pray to go to Govishwara Mandir. Every Monday fast until after darshan. Every Monday fast, go to Govishwara Mandir, which is in Vrindavan, nearby, near Vamshivat is Govishwara Mahadev. You pray for Govishwara. Every Monday fast, just drink water when you wake up, don't eat any food, fast until you have darshan, do puja for Govishwara Shiva, and pray to him for Brajavas. By the mercy of Shiva, Govishwara Shiva, Shiva in a Gopi form, Gopi Bhav, you'll get residence in Vrindavan. And never have to leave, you'll get Brajnishta. That's what I did. I lived 36 years in Vrindavan. I came here in 2002 permanently. So 21 years, 15 years I lived in Vrindavan. Every Monday I went to Govishwar, did puja. So he arranged for my visa to continue, and I got citizenship in 1998. So Govishwar is very kind. Many people around the world, they worship lingas on their altar. They have a little Shiva linga of Govishwar. It's very good. No more questions? You always got a question? Okay. Yeah, buddy.
Here, in this context, I wanted to ask one thing.
Okay.
Maharaj, you told that you used to go to Gopeshwar for getting Vrindavan Dhambas and all. But sometimes in this world we are so accustomed that we don't realize the internal hearts. Although many people may go to Gopeshwar, but everyone cannot go with the heart that you have for prayer. Internal consciousness for every person is different. So how to, externally we might copy things, but internal heart we cannot copy. So how to actually get the blessing, with what mood also in the blessing. I don't know whether I could frame the question properly or not.
For the blessings of Govishwar.
Gopeshwar or any activity that all the great saints do, we try to copy. That's just an external copy, but we cannot copy the consciousness of them. So that is why many times we misunderstand Shastra statements also, because Shastra says this thing with that consciousness the great saints will follow, but we externally do mechanically. We don't get the result and we blame Shastra for it. So I want to get your analysis or enlightened statements on this.
So the consciousness is called Krishna consciousness. It's the consciousness of love, of bhakti. Love means dependence, love means submission, love means service, love means humility. All these qualities are included in love. So what makes a bhakta? Bhakta's heart and consciousness is full of humility, full of submission, full of surrender, and full of dependence. There's 6 symptoms of surrender, sharanagati. Anukasya sankalpa, patigosana bhardam, the connected ocean. We always depend on Krishna's mercy, accept everything favorable. So when one lives the whole life with that type of surrendered consciousness, that's how he does every activity. All his activities are done in the consciousness of pure bhakti. You can't imitate that. That doesn't come overnight. But for example, take one at a time. Take Govishwar, for example. You go to Govishwar, I go to Govishwar and I pray for Vrajavas. Because I don't have Vrajavas, I can't even stay there without a visa. I can't even stay there longer than my visa and have to extend my visa. So there's so many precarious situations where I'm dependent and I'm fearful of losing Braj. I'm fearful of getting kicked out of Braj. So that I can surrender and pray for mercy because I'm desperate. But if you go to Govishwar, I don't have to pray for Braj. I'm Indian. I don't need a visa. I don't need a passport. I don't need a plane ticket. I don't need a FRO. I'm in like Flynn. I'm cool, you know. What can you do for me? But are you really in Braj? Are you in Braj consciousness? One thing is to live in Braj, another thing is to live in Braj consciousness. So for you don't have to. You're not praying for your bones to stay in Vrindavan. You have to pray to Govishwar, let my consciousness enter Vrindavan. Let me attain the consciousness of a gopi. He attained the consciousness of a gopi, so he entered he got a gopi room and entered the rasa dance. Where's your gopi room? Where's the rasa dance? Do you have your gopi room? Are you in rasa dance? No. So you're also desperate. You're also desperate. You're also in dependent position. And you should be surrendered and submissive and do service to Govishwar. Oh, please, bless me in Gopi consciousness, bless me in Gopi room. So you enter the rasa dance and do seva there. So you have to open your heart, open your vision, to understand the relationship of every deva and devi to your needs and necessities as an aspiring sadhaka, aspiring for prema. Living in Vrindavan means to become a beggar. I wrote a poem, Beggar. Beggar in Vrindavan, part 1 and 2. We're begging everything, everyone. Because we read all these prayers of Sharanagati and submission and surrender, so we can develop Dainya Bhav, humility. So when you develop true humility, then you start praying to the Vrindavan dogs. Oh, Vrindavan dog. Oh, Vrindavan dog. Jaya Radhe, Jaya doggy. Oh, dog, please bless me with Vrajavas. Please bless me, I take birth in Vrindavan next life. How many lifetimes you're born in Vrindavan, I don't know. Please bless me. Sounds crazy, but it's real, Bob. Everyone is more fortunate than us. This is the land of fortune. We're begging for that fortune. We're all guests, we're all titis here. Titi means uninvited, untimely guest. A titi, off the time. Like sometimes Indian people will tell me, you're Videshi. I say, you're Videshi also. Our Desh, we should be in the spiritual world. So we're all without our, being without your home, without your Desh. So we're all Videshis. Our real home is transcendental realm with Radha and Krishna Nitya Seva. We have our clothesline on. That's good. Such a vision. Any questions? Questions? Baba?
I guess I have some general questions about Advaita Parivar.
Okay.
So Advaita Prabhu had 4 sons?
6.
6. Okay. And 2 had children, so there's 2 branches of the Parivar?
No, there can be many branches. His first son, there's questions about Advaita Parivar, and the sons of Advaita Parivar, and the branches of Advaita Parivar. So every son that gives Diksha is a branch, and then their disciples can be sub-branches. So his first son was Achyutananda. Achyutananda was a sannyasi. He didn't get married. So he has a line coming from Achyutananda. And his second son was Krishna Mishra. He has a line coming from him. He's married. He did puja to Vedacharya's Thakurji, Madan Gopal. And his third son was Gopal, then Balaram, then Jagadish and Sru. He had 6 different sons. Three of the sons started taking up Gyan Vishishta, they started preaching Advaitavad, not Vaishnavism. Balaram, Jagadish, and Sru, they started preaching Advaitavad. They started as Vaishnavas, Advaita Parivar, they started preaching. So they were kind of like ostracized. But they are very great devotees also, but not from Vaishnava line. But Balaram came back and started preaching Bhakti again. He had one great disciple of Balaram from the line of Balaram, Siddha Maharaj from Govinda Kund. His samadhi is there on the south side of Govinda Kund. Siddha Maharaj. He is Siddha Mahatma. He lived about 100 years ago or so. He's a famous devotee. So Krishna Mishra has a line even today, and Chaitanya. So I'm in the line of Krishna Mishra. He subscribed to Nadi Chaitanya Chaudhary. Says Lord Chaitanya is always resting in the heart of Krishna Mishra. Krishna's Kaviraj glorifies him. He said Lord Chaitanya is always resting in the heart of Krishna Mishra Goswami. We're happy about that.
And which branch is Vijay Krishna Goswami part of?
I don't remember. I don't know. I saw his biography mentioned saints of Bengal or by Obio Kapoor. I can't remember.
And then also the reason that 3 of the sons were preaching at Advaitavad is because they heard somebody preaching it, but the person preaching it was like doing it as like a test or something, right?
Yeah, the question is, why did some of the sons start preaching Gyan Vishishta or Advaitavad? It's interesting, it's called Advaitavad. Because Advaita, he was always being honored and respected by Lord Chaitanya. Advaita was 60 years older than Lord Chaitanya. He said Acharya was a big guru with thousands of disciples before Lord Chaitanya appeared. He was teaching Bhagavad and chanting Hare Krishna Kirtan way before Lord Chaitanya appeared. One of his 6 disciples was Haridas Thakur, Advaitacharya. So whenever Advaita met Lord Chaitanya offered dandavats and all kinds of respect and puja to Advaita. So Advaita didn't like that because he knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So he wanted to change the attitude of Lord Chaitanya. He wanted to, show his submission and subservience to Lord Chaitanya. So amongst his disciples, Vaidacharya started preaching Gyan Vishishta, which is like a type of Vaitavad, non-impersonal philosophy. Lord Chaitanya, some devotees went to Lord Chaitanya and said, Vaidacharya is down in Shalipur preaching Advaitavad. What? So he went down and started beating him up. Lord Chaitanya started slapping him, and then Sita Devi told Maharaj, stop beating, he's an old man. You may kill him. Stop beating my husband up. And so at that time, Vaita was saying, nectar, nectar, nectar. and then he paid obeisance. He paid obeisance to Lord Chaitanya to beg forgiveness. And Lord Chaitanya accepted his obeisance. Every time before when he go to take obeisance, Lord Chaitanya would race him. Wouldn't let him touch his feet, but now he let him touch his feet in small obeisance. So Vaita was very happy. So he stopped reaching all Gyan Vishishta. But his 2 sons, or 3 sons, they were listening to his classes when he was teaching. They liked that. It says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mayavadi Shuni, Mayavadi, yeah, verse, Sarvabhakti Naj. Yes, Mayavadi Bhashi Shunya, Sarvabhakti Naj. If you hear a Mayavadi philosophy, Vaita philosophy, all your bhakti will be destroyed. Sarvabhakti Nash, Nash means Nash Hoga, destroyed. Nash. So these sons of Vaita heard the Advaitavad from Vaita and maybe destroyed their bhakti, I can't say, but that verse is there. They continue to preach. Swarup and Jagadish continue to preach Jnana Vasishta, which is the type of Vaishnava. Is that okay? 3,000 question. Nice question. Okay. Great weather. Warm up for Radharani. This winds of Radharani's compassion. Cool breeze. When Krishna feels the breeze coming from Radharani's Anchala, from the tip of her Dopata, he goes in ecstasy. Just the breeze comes down. The verse Radha Sunanidhi. So it must be, it's nice. The breeze from Radharani's veil, you know, Dopata. Any question? Check it out.
Just comment by Viren. Question is not.
Any questions? Go in there. Question?
This one, 10th canto, 3rd chapter. Why the reason why Krishna left Radharani is given as that Radharani showed some unfavorable nature. That's what is described there. But I was not able to connect with that, how Radharani can show unfavorable nature.
Question?
In 10th canto, 30th chapter,
What chapter? 30?
30th chapter, there some instance it is mentioned, Radharani showed some unfavorable nature towards
Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna disappeared.
That's why Krishna disappeared. So
From the Rasa Leela, Krishna takes Radharani. Then later Krishna even disappears from Radharani also. There that Bhagavatam mentions like unfavorable nature, pride or something. I could not.
in Bhagavatam, pride and favorable nature, something is mentioned. He is unable to comprehend why it is mentioned. So
How can Radharani?
how can Radharani?
In the Rasa Leela description, chapter 30, describes how Krishna left Radharani and left all the gopis and Rasa dance and went with Radharani. They left Radharani. So it's described there that some unfavorable mood came in Radharani.
Yes, because of which Krishna left.
Krishna was teaching Trinadapi Sunichana, Surayavasishana. He wanted everyone to be humble because Radharani showed some Saubhagyaman. Saubhagyaman. Saubhagya means very good. Saubhagyaman means very good, very auspicious. Saubhagya. Man. She was proud of her good fortune. She was proud. She showed some pride of her good fortune. So Krishna wants to show, the Radharani wanted to show that even Radharani showed pride. He left all the other gopis because they had some pride. They were special, were with Krishna. So he left them all to show you're not so special. Radharani's more special than you. Then Radharani showed pride. So Krishna took me, he didn't take anybody else. So she had a little pride. So Krishna showed even the pride of Radharani is not acceptable. So even the most advanced devotee has to be careful of pride. That's why he says in Madhurya Kadamini, even at the level of prema, one can fall down. There's still some aparad at the level of prema. Until one is 100% established in Siddhanta, and having darshan of Krishna, there's still a chance for fall down, the level of prema. Very, very subtle anartha, which is an aparad, which you think, I'm a big devotee. I'm prema bhakta. I made it. I attained perfection. You think that, that's not aparad. Your level of prema, we just have a thought. That thought is against pure bhakti. So Krishna will withhold giving you the full experience and measure of prema. You won't get success. So he's showing Radharani's the highest, greatest devotee, but she shows some sabhagyaman, some little bit of pride. So Krishna wants to say, it's a teaching to the sadhakas. Be careful, no matter how high you get, how advanced, how devotion, how pure, how much prema you get, there's a danger of sabhagyaman. Oh, my fortune, I'm so special, I got such fortune. It's not a sin. The main, I was saying yesterday to some devotees, when we talk about nartha-nivritti, the biggest problem with nartha-nivritti is not sin, it's aparad. Getting free of nartha-nivritti, coming to nishtha means avoiding aparad, basically. That's why so few people get to nishtha, because they make so many aparads. No aparad, dhamma aparad, etc. Sins are easily eliminated by chanting Hare Krishna. The anartha of aparad carries over the next lifetime. So that was an unfavorable mood because Krishna is using Radharani to establish the topmost devotee. He took it away to show everyone, show the world, Radharani is the topmost devotee in the creation. But then she showed, even if you're the top devotee among all the Vaishnavas, I'm a Siddha Mahatma of Vrindavan, I'm a Prema Bhakti. That's Sabhagyaman. That's being proud of your fortune. Man means pride, and Sabhagya means fortune. Sabhagya, good fortune. So Radha is proud of her fortune. She showed that. She's not that way. She just teaches teaching. Because the author is trying to teach what is Uttam Bhakti. The whole purpose of the Bhagavatam is to show what is Uttam Bhakti. And who's the most highest Uttam Bhakti? Radharani. So he's trying to show, when you come to the highest level of Uttam Bhakti, you come to Prema, watch out for Sabhagyaman. Radharani, just like it was Arjuna, Maya, and Gaudiya Gita. Arjuna's not Maya, he's a Nityasiddha Parishad. He's a Prema Bhakta. How does he fall into illusion? How does he fall into bodily concept? To teach us. Radharani doesn't have pride, no pride at all, but just to show, it's a teaching. There's danger even on the royal road. You're on the motorway, you're in Germany, super fast motorway, you still got a flat tire. You got a puncture. Another question?
Not question, Gurudev. I read in Utkalika Vallari, means the way Anandas Babaji described the same thing, like how Radharani and Krishna were, after separating from all the gopis, Radharani and Krishna they were having intimate pastimes in a kunja. Then Radharani says to Krishna, I'm not feeling comfortable. You all should play Ras Leela. Then Krishna goes out to bring gopis, but Krishna goes out in a different way. And all the gopis come and see Radharani. And they all feel that separation that Krishna is not there with us. In like this, he mentioned the Ras Leela part. So I felt that this is more. So that's why I was asking.
What's your question or just?
No, Anandas Babaji Maharaj explained like this also. So this also would have happened. That's what I'm asking.
I can't follow what you're saying.
Anandas Babaji Maharaj in Utkalik Vallari, he states that Radharani feels uncomfortable. that all
When?
Because she's alone with Krishna and all the other gopis are not having that fortune of being with Krishna.
Okay.
So she says to Krishna that you please go and bring others. Means she feels that immediately Krishna goes out to bring all the other gopis. But he goes in a different way and all the other gopis come through a different way and see that Radharani is alone and feeling that separation. So then Raslila happened. Like that Anandas Babaji explains. Means he never touches that part where Radharani became proud, Krishna left. He never touches that kind of. That is there. That is also there. So this might also happen there. It is a spooky.
What's the question?
He just expresses that this another narration given by Anandas Babaji Maharaj where pride part is not mentioned in that scenario.
No, that's a different idea.
Yeah.
Radharani wants to share Krishna with everyone. That's a different teaching. What is she teaching there? In the highest level of praying, there's no envy, no jealousy. And all those Sakhis include Chandravali.
Yes.
And Shaivi and Papa were also there. All came in to meet Radharani at that time.
Yes.
Rasa dance, they're all there. So Radharani wanted all the gopis to dance with Krishna, not just her own Sakhis.
Yeah.
So that teaching that particular scenario is Radharani's total non-jealousy, non-envious. Let Krishna dance with everyone. Let him dance with Chandravali, Shaivi, Padma, and lead to Vishaka, everyone.
So whatever described in Bhagavatam also happening and whatever described by Anandas Babaji was also happening simultaneously.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Same Leela.
that's right. I understood.
Just like in a wrestling match, everyone saw Krishna differently. Kansa saw him as death, the wrestlers saw him as a thunderbolt, the Yadavas saw him as a family member, the ladies in the audience saw him as love personified, Cupid personified. So everyone sees the Rasliya Avanamanya Jagat. Avanamanya Jagat. You see the reality through your own mind, through your own bhava and prema.
What is the difference between transcendental pride and material pride? Because in second canto Bhagavatam, Brahma says, I cannot be wrong, I cannot think wrong. So we look, it's like pride statements, but he says, because Krishna is in my heart is dictating, how can I be wrong? He concludes in this way. So he's so pride, but it looks pride for us, but he's very confident about Krishna guiding him. So that's why the context of pride came, that's why I wanted to ask this question.
What's the question?
What is the difference between transcendental pride and material pride?
Prayer, pride.
Pride.
Right.
But why I am asking in the context is Brahma speaks, I cannot think wrong, I cannot speak wrong, I can... we think, what is he speaking? Being in that such exalted position. But he says, Krishna in my heart guides me, so I cannot be wrong. So, in this context, I wanted to ask that.
Material pride is not connected to Krishna, or as far as spiritual pride is connected to Krishna. That's simple. That's simple. Like the Manjaris have pride. What do they have pride in?
Seva.
They have pride in their Yuteshwar, they have pride in Rupa Manjari, they have pride in Vrindadevi, they have pride in Radharani. That Krishna has to bow down and pray to Radharani. So they're proud of Radharani. They're not proud for themselves. Material pride means pointed this way, spiritual pride means pointed that way, towards Bhagavan. That's easy. That's why we wear tilak. Because we're proud to be in our parivar. We're proud of Nityananda parivar. We're proud of Gadadhar parivar. We're proud of Vaita parivar. It's our pride. Our pride is our Guru Parampara. our guru, parivar, our family. We call it our family. We're proud of our family. We know all the family members. We know them all. We're all connected. My father, my my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather. Oh, we go all the way up there. Maharaj. Okay, fine. Any other question? Any other question? Yeah.
Bhakti is trans-phenomenal. Bhakti is trans-phenomenal.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Guru? So how to...
Phenomenal means of this world. Trans means beyond. The word, the prefix trans means beyond. Beyond this world. Transphenomenal is another way of saying transcendental. Okay, exciting. You gotta do something. Do fit. Do what they're doing. Yeah. Turn on the light. Question. Yeah, you got a question. I think you started a question.
Yeah, trans-phenomenal, I asked. Trans-phenomenal.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Bhakti is independent. It doesn't depend on anything. All that comes from the
Yeah. Very good. Sure. Any more questions?
One our friend question.
Okay.
She sent message in English.
Okay.
Can I open? Lila Vilasina.
Bhakti is not inherent in the jiva. The definition of bhakti is Shuddha bhakti. Bhakti, real bhakti, is only pure bhakti. But if it's not inherent in the soul, so when the soul gets the seed of bhakti from Guru and start to develop it until the point of getting a seed of bhakti to the point of Shuddha bhakti, it can take lifetimes. So in the meantime, if Krishna is only attracted by his own Swarupa Shakti, which bhakti is, bhakti belongs to Swarupa Shakti of Krishna, of the world, of the spiritual world. So if Krishna can only reciprocate with the energy of bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, then until the point of us in our process of sadhana, until we develop Shuddha bhakti, we cannot contact Krishna directly. Then who answers our prayers? Then, then how? But then still we see in the life of devotees that Krishna still touches in a very personal way each life of the devotee. Doesn't this contradict the idea that we don't have bhakti inherent at the same time? Because then how does it work? Because if we have some kind of love inherent in us, but it's yet dormant in some way, then it's understandable that Krishna can still contact us while we have this mix bhakti, not a pure bhakti.
Okay.
But from non-inherent
Listen, my dear. When one receives the seed of bhakti, the seed of bhakti is Krishna's Srup Shakti, Radha Shakti and Samvit Shakti combined. So along with the seed of, along with Diksha comes mantra. And the mantra, the Diksha mantra is Gopal mantra and Kam Gayatri. These are the primary Diksha mantras. And Diksha mantra is Krishna's Srup. So when one takes Diksha, Guru plants Krishna in your heart. Paramatma is no longer in the heart of a bhakta. From the point of initiation, Krishna is residing in the heart, accepting all the service, all the prayers. Krishna in the heart hears you directly. But anyone who hasn't taken Diksha is not initiated. Paramatma is in the heart. And Paramatma is not listening to prayers, not interacting with the jiva. But in the 4th chapter of Gita, verse 11, Krishna says, he reciprocates with devotees as they approach him. So you approach Krishna, he approaches you. So you're not getting a clear idea. You don't have to have Shuddha Bhakti, you don't have to have Prema Bhakti, you don't have Bhava Bhakti, you have Bhakti. Bhakti starts with Bhakti and it develops to Bhava and Prema over time, maybe lifetimes. But if you have initiation and you're practicing Bhakti Bhajan, you have an intimate, personal, direct connection with Krishna. And Krishna directly hears your prayers and directly responds on a one-on-one basis. This is the fact. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. That's nice. Good voice. Had a very clear voice.
She has many questions. She asked me, and I invite her here, but she has some 700 dollars.
She initiated?
Yes,
Diksha.
yes. Very philosoph mind. But all this time ask about you because she also read your books.
I just gave her a copy of Jiva Tattva. We were just, because she's been coming to Jiva Institute, and she was asking me the questions, so I gave her Babaji's Jiva Tattva.
That's good book. You're a great teacher.
Yeah, you know.
Anything else? Okay.
In Vishwanath Chakravarti Path's Tika on Gita 2.51, Nishkama Karma Yoga is not considered bhakti. But Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita as it is describes Nishkama Karma Yoga as bhakti, which is service for the pleasure of Krishna. How to understand?
Nishkam Bhakti. Anyway, what is Nishkam Bhakti?
Nishkama Karma. Nishkama Karma Yoga.
Nishkam Karma Yoga. Well, Prabhupada says it's Bhakti because it's connected. There's some Bhakti in Nishkam. Nishkam Karma Bhakti. That's what Prabhupada says it's a type of Bhakti. Because you're offering results to Krishna. That's Nishkam. So Prabhupada's correct. But what does Vishnu say? It's not.
Nishkama Karma Yoga is not considered as bhakti.
Yeah, well, that's why it's called Karma Yoga. It's type of it's yoga because its objective is not to love Krishna. The objective is to get some enjoyment by mixing bhakti with karma. But you're offering results of your bhakti to Krishna to get material results. That's why it's karma. So in one sense it's not bhakti, but Prabhupada's saying it's the type of bhakti because Krishna's there. So there's a chance that Nishkam Karma Yogi can become a bhakti yogi if Krishna favors him. If he gets special mercy. Ostensibly on its own, his karma is not bhakti. So Vishnu, purely speaking, Vishnu is correct. His karma yoga is not bhakti. Because bhakti yoga is performed for Krishna's pleasure. Adokliya Krishna Srila Bhakti. The activities of bhakti are performed with a favorable mind, only to please Krishna, nothing for me, everything for Krishna. But Nishkam karma means material desires, selfish desires. That's not bhakti. Bhakti is selfless. The other question?
question.
Yes.
It's probably my ignorant mind that wants to understand better Radha's nature and terms of. I'm just trying to like see. There is a part in the Bhagavad Gita when Krishna shows himself as he is to Arjuna, like he unveils the Maya and shows himself to Arjuna, and it was overwhelming, like glorifying a little bit, like all what the Arjuna can see, and it's because there is like a relationship, a confidence, like I'm just speculating about it, but my question will be more if there is a moment in the Shastras where we can understand how Radha also, or how can we develop this relationship with Radha so we can also get closer to Krishna. Like, maybe it's not that clear the question, but it's if there is a way for us to, and for me that, and just a beginner question, but this is like, how can I like get at this understanding, get to know Radha's nature, and establish a relationship also with her through which practices.
So you're asking a question, how to develop a relationship with Radharani. Do you want to develop a relationship?
That's the question. I might think that this is the origin of the question. How can I, like, that's the reason.
Well, you have to read about Radharani. So to develop a relationship with anyone, you have to know who they are.
Yes.
So to know who Radharani is, you have to read about Radharani. So Radharani is described in particular books, like Bhakti Rasri Jacinta by Rupa Goswami, Ujjvala Mani by Rupa Goswami, Radha Krishna Ganda Stipika by Rupa Goswami. These are very important books to know about Radharani. What is her nature, what is her form, what are her qualities. So you start by reading those books. And then you can go on different websites. I have a website and I have many articles written about Radharani. So you go into articles, English articles, you type in search Radharani, Radharani, you find so many articles about Radharani. You can read those and learn all about Radharani. I read these books, they're in English also. Bhakti Rasri Jacinta is called Nectar of Devotion in ISKCON. There's many passages about Radharani. And Ujjvala Mani, it's all about Radharani. And Radha Krishna Ganadesh Divika, has so much about Radharani. So you read these books, I'll get you started. The love begins, you have to meet your lover before you fall in love. You have to see the person, you have to know the person. Yeah, how can you fall in love with someone you never met? You know nothing about their qualities, their personality, their likes or dislikes. What they feel like. A person has looks and they have feelings also. What they radiate. So you have to get near Radharani, you have to approach her first by understanding her name and her form, her qualities. Then you understand her heart lastly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions? Maharaji? All right, Kudvasi, back at home. Very nice. Happy to see you. Okay, anything else? Nothing else? Nothing that? Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe.